What's going on, guys? So I'm out here, just got hitched up to my Texas Pride lowboy gooseneck tilt deck trailer. Very cool. It kind of tilts when you load stuff on and then tilts back. I don't do a lot of content on this trailer. I use it actually pretty frequently, but I don't know if a lot of people actually pay attention to these videos. Do you want to see more content on my other trailers, like this one and my dump trailer? Let me know in the comments. If you do, I might start recording more. Anyways, on to the video. What's going on, everyone? So very strange, interesting thing happened to us today. Maybe something that's happened to you all during your camping adventures, but I'm going to go over it. I'm not going to name any names, but I will point out what happened and why it's always a good idea to confirm your reservation, or maybe sometimes check your bank account. Anyways, guys, hang tight. I'll be right back. All right, so we actually had a trip scheduled for this weekend. We were supposed to go, it was about a 190-mile trip, so it wasn't too far away, but I guess if you don't live in Texas, that could be a pretty long trip. But here in Texas, you're not even, getting a quarter of a way through the state. Anyways, we were planning on going on this RV trip, and everything was going well. Well, all of a sudden, I look at my bank account, and I notice that I've been refunded a couple $100s. And I'm kind of wondering what's going on. And the refund is actually coming from the park that we planned on staying at. So I'm thinking this is strange, and maybe, it's an authorization of payment. I'm not exactly sure, how this specific park does their policy. So I call the park, and then I say, hey, I got a reservation for this coming up weekend, but it looks like I was refunded the amount that you guys charged, or the amount that was charged. So they start to look up my reservation and they can't find me. They say, well, I'm sorry, you don't have a reservation in our park. And I'm like, yes, I do. We booked it 3 weeks ago, and, we confirmed it for a back-end spot next to the water. Well, again, they said, well, I'm sorry, we don't have anything for you. And, we can try to rebook you, but it looks like we're completely sold out this weekend, maybe next weekend or the following weekend if I can find a spot. I'm getting upset at this point, and I'm wondering what's going on. So I said, you know what, let me email you the confirmation email that I got from your park showing that I have a spot there. And they said, okay. So I said, don't hang up. I want to send it to you while I'm talking to you, if you don't mind, just so you can pull it up and we can both be looking at the same thing at the same time. So they say, sure. So I send the confirmation email. It was actually 2 emails. The first one was when I registered, and the second one was confirming the payment. So they said, oh, wow, yeah, that's strange. Let me put you on hold and we'll figure out what's going on. So they put me on hold for about 15 minutes, to the point to where I actually hang up and I call back and I say, you guys put me on hold. They said, oh, I'm sorry, we got really busy here. But then they said, so this is what happened. We know you had a confirmed reservation, but we had a large group of RVers that were coming in together, and they all wanted a spot next to each other. So they asked if they could take your spot, and instead you would be refunded or assigned to another spot. And I said, well, we specifically, paid for this spot, and, that's why we were staying over there, and it was confirmed that we would have that spot. I even called ahead to make sure that that spot would be available for us, and it was. But they said, we're sorry, we apologize for it, but yeah, your spot was given to someone else, and since we couldn't rebook you on another spot, we canceled your reservation for you, but you should have been called. I said, well, I wasn't called. I said, but regardless, we've had this trip planned. And they said, well, there's nothing we can really do at this point. So again, I'm not going to call out the specific RV park that this happened at, but it was definitely a surprise, and it's actually the first time it's ever happened. I've never experienced this before. Every time we stay somewhere, and they don't know that I have a YouTube channel. I don't tell them any of this, and, whenever I book it the same way I think anybody else does. I don't get any type of special deal or rebates, or, there's no real collaboration, at least at this point, that I've done with the park to stay there. But it was very shocking to see that, we're supposed to be camping this weekend, but now our trip was canceled because a group of RVers who wanted to stay next to each other somehow overrode my reservation and took our spot. So that's just very concerning. And, I'm considering leaving a Google review or something like that, but I probably won't, just because I know a lot of people may find it, and I don't want people just bashing this park, because this might have just been one employee's attempt to, think outside in the bigger picture, to think, what is one person's reservation when I could have an entire group of people that are hinging their entire trip on staying together. That being said, though, it would have been at least nice to have a courtesy call, something telling me, we're refunding your money, we're canceling your spot, And again, it's not necessarily the refunding of the money that bothers me. It's the fact that they refunded it without telling me that they had canceled our spot. Anyways, I would love to know how you all would handle this situation, what you guys think about it, and if this is something that's happened to you before. I don't think it's right. You know, I understand the need for parks to, you know, earn their income, but this specific park is always booked out. It's always hard to get a spot at, and I was able to get a spot 3 weeks in advance. And it was, you know, it was a really good trip that we had planned. So it would essentially be the shakedown trip for the Brookstone, but now we're not taking our trip there, and we're gonna have to reschedule it for another time. Again, love to know your thoughts about all this. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, comment below. I'd love to know what you think, and we'll talk to you guys again very soon.